So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at my stats of all my 6-star units. We're also going to look at the gear and what sets that I went with. I'll also briefly say what stats I actually focused on. I won't go too in-depth as to the actual gear thoughts or abilities, because I do have other videos that covers that more in-depth. So we're going to start off with Alia. Alia, as you can see here, my primary goal with her was to be very crit heavy. All her skills rely on crit, so as you can see here, I did focus on crit rate and crit damage. The gear that I went with is Mortal Keen, which I'm a big fan of. For the shoulder slot, I went with attack percent. For the glove slot, I went with crit damage. And then for the bracer slot, I went with attack percent again. I also did plus 15 chest because it is HP, and I feel more HP is always worth it. Here are the stats for my helm and the stats for my necklace. If I'm going too fast, you can feel free to pause the video and then take a look at it for a deeper look. Alright, next let's move on to Abigail, the Fire Siege Tower. Here I focused mainly on HP and defense, because her only point I wanted her to live was to stun in Blitz and live. That was really it. She works very good for Blitz. You can take a look at the gear here. For her, I went Adept, Vital. For the shoulder piece, I went max HP percent. For the glove slot, max HP percent. And then for the bracer slot, max HP percent. I will be plus 15 this bracer and this chest piece because, again, as I've said previously, more HP is always a good thing. I do need to replace her helm, but I've yet to find one with decent defense on it. But there's the helm stats, and there is the necklace stats. Alright, we'll move on to Zeveron, the Water AA. Here, my thought was purely attack speed and max HP. If I got anything else, more the greatest, but if I didn't, so be it. I still managed to get about 800 defense, which is good. I prefer 1k on him, but I'll take what I can get. You can see I have 92k HP and 0.78 bonus attack speed. The gear that I went with for him is Adept Vital. For shoulder slot, I went with max HP percent. For glove slot, I went with max HP percent. And then for bracer slot, again, max HP percent. Here's the chest stats, the helm, and the necklace. Alright, now let's take a look at Blueberry, one of the most complained about units that I've made, that I still made. So I complained about her and then still made her, and then while I was making her, I complained about her. A lot of my stream viewers are definitely aware of how I feel about her. For her, I really focused on attack and crit damage, crit rate. You can see her stats here. With her buff, I have 100% crit, I have 2.1k attack, and 155% crit damage. Now, I'm not including the bonus that we get from guild in these numbers, but you also consider these are actually a little higher still because of that. Here's the gear that I went with on Blueberry. I went Mortal Keen again, because I'm a huge fan of Mortal Keen. I went attack percent on the shoulder slot. On the glove slot, I went crit damage. I will be plus 15 in these gloves. And then for the bracer slot, I went again attack percent. Okay, one of my viewers just let me know guild stats are included. Alright, I thought they were not, to be honest. Alright, here is the chest slot, helm slot, necklace slot. Now let's move on to Kai Wenji. Here I focus on HP and defense primarily because her only job for me is to live. I did also focus on accuracy. I forgot because I want Starstruck to stick, and I want the stun to happen. Now, as you can see here, I have 61k max HP. I have 1100 defense and 100% accuracy. The gear that I went with is Adept Precision. For shoulder slot, I went with HP percent. For glove slot, I went with max HP percent. And then for the bracer slot, I went with accuracy. There's no reason for me to plus 15 these because I'm already at the accuracy cap. I could drop other, if I did plus 15 this, I could drop this and get other stats, but right now I am happy with how it is. So there's my chest. There's my helm. And here is my necklace. Next, let's move over to Kiva. Here, I strictly focus on accuracy, HP, and defense, just like with Kai Wenji, because as well as attack speed. Because here I wanted her to live, and also I wanted to lower the cooldown on her shield, which is her strip. So her shield comes up based on her primary attack. The faster she does her primary attack, the faster that refreshes her shield, which means the more strips you're going to get. As you can see, I have about 60k HP, a little over 1100 defense, 1.01 attack speed bonus, and 100% accuracy. The gear that I use to get that is going to be Rapid Sturdy. For the shoulder slot, I went with attack speed percent, excuse me. For the glove slot, I went with max HP percent. For the bracer slot, I went with accuracy. Here is the chest, the helm, and the necklace. Next, we're going to take a look at Manus. Manus, I actually switched him. He was a defensive build because I just wanted him to do cooldown reduction and buff block. But someone a while back talked me into switching him to DPS, and I've regretted it ever since. Just because he dies at the drop of a hat. He has 30k HP, barely, 1800 attack, and roughly a little over 700 defense, and 93% accuracy. I'm honestly not happy with this build, and it will likely be changing next laundry day. But here are the stats, or the gear, excuse me. For I am running Adept Warding. For the shoulder slot, I went with attack percent. For the glove slot, attack percent. And then for the bracer slot, accuracy. Here is the chest, the helm, and the necklace. Next, we're going to take a look at Kendrick. Kendrick, I focused on crit rate because of his skill 1 and attack, as well as a little bit of HP and some accuracy. You can take a look at the gear here. I went with Adept Keen. For the shoulder slot, I went with attack percent. For the glove slot, I went with crit rate. For the bracer slot, I went with attack percent. Here is the chest, the helm, and the necklace. Alright, next we're going to go to Dr. Synapse, one of my favorite units, just visually for looks and everything else. I'm so biased on this guy. I think he's like quite possibly one of the greatest champions ever invented, which is probably not true, but who cares? He looks totally badass. He just does. So with this guy, I focus on attack and crit rate, crit damage. You can see his stats here. I have 1900 attack, a little over 31k HP, a little over 900 defense, or 800 defense, excuse me. 100% crit rate and 132% crit damage. Not really happy with his crit damage. I do want to up it. Here's the gear that I use. I went mortal and then sturdy. I went for the shoulder slot, attack percent. The glove slot, I went crit rate. For the bracer slot, attack percent. Here's the chest. The helm. And the necklace. One of my all-time favorite units. I'm a big fan of Dr. Center. He can do no wrong. Alright, we're going to move on to Caroline. Caroline here, I focused on accuracy, HP, and defense. I really didn't care about anything else. I picked up some attack speed where I could to help out with her heal. You can see here she has 72k HP, 1100 or so defense, and 100% accuracy. You want to make sure her OGD sticks. Here's the gear. I went Adept Precision. For shoulder slot, I went attack speed. For glove slot, I went max HP percent. For bracer slot, I went max HP percent. Here's the chest, the helm, and the necklace. Next, we're going to move on to Camille, my first summon in DHC. Believe it or not, I saved my summons because, you know, I know a lot of people like save summons. And I pulled my LD first and got laser. I was super happy. Never got another LD laser. On him, I focused on defense and max HP only. Like everything else is just a side. As you can see, I have 51k HP and 2700 defense. Here's the gear I use. I went sturdy, sturdy, sturdy. For the shoulder slot, I went defense percent. For the glove slot, defense percent. And for the bracer slot, max HP. Here's the chest slot. The helm slot. And the necklace. Next, we're going to move on to Zinnia. Actually, I didn't have a hard time farming her, to be honest. I got my 20 shards in, I would say, I think about 5 hours, maybe 6. She was really easy for me, but I know a lot of people had a hard time. Now, Zinnia has kind of gone the way of the wayside. I don't use her that much anymore, so her gear is not up to snuff. I haven't updated her in a while. But here's her stats. I don't even remember what I focused on when I used her, to be honest with you. But it looks like she's got 44k HP, about 1100 defense, and 89% accuracy. Here's her gear. I went Adept Sturdy. Shoulder slot, I went max HP percent. Glove slot, I went max HP percent. And bracer slot, I went accuracy. Here's the chest piece. Totally unimpressive chest piece. 4-star. Wow. I still have 2 pieces of 4-star gear. 1 piece is on a really good unit. I've got the helm stats there. And lastly, the necklace. Finishing up our quick gear overview, we're going to take a look now at Sigrun. Sigrun, I focus on mostly attack speed, crit rate, and crit damage. I didn't really focus on anything else. She could definitely use more attack, but I'm really happy with her stats here. She pulls 950k in ED10 for damage, and that's even with the attack like it is. So she is definitely a DPS powerhouse for me. Here's her gear. I went Adept Keen. I thought I went Mortal for some reason, but I guess I didn't. I went Adept Keen. Her shoulder slot is attack speed. Her glove slot is crit damage. Bracer is attack percent. Here is her chest, helm, and necklace. Alright, and that does it. Hopefully that gave you guys a really good, you know, maybe some directions you can go with some of the units that you're building.